Hi everybody, welcome back to my latest design team project for Country Craft Creations, and we are working on a mini album using this beautiful collection from Prima called Christmas in the Country. And I did do a haul where I showed all the details, so I'm not going to flip through it, but I have the 12 by 12 and the 8 by 8, but we're just using the 12 by 12 in this project. And the other thing that I'm using, the burgundy artisan cardstock. There's a little scrap of it. And then I'm also using some pink cardstock that was out of my stash. So I'm using burgundy artisan, linen artisan, and pink. And the ink that I'm using is Distress Oxide Vintage Photo from Ranger. And I've picked out a lot of the mats, so we can just get going with the matting. And let me grab my ruler. Here it is, my ruler, so I can give you some measurements. All right, so we're going to start with page 1, and we also need to make I'm just pulling this off, this magnet. We need to make a policy envelope for the back of page 1, so I'm just going to set that aside for now. We'll get back to that. All right, so we're going to start with these 3 pockets that we have on our flap. And I need to get them inked. I haven't inked all these pieces yet, and I'll give you measurements. That's that one. And this one. I like to add in some extra color with the cardstock, especially when I'm using Prima papers, because often they're all very similar toned, although this particular collection has a beautiful dark red and black buffalo check, so that's nice, but the burgundy adds a nice dark tone. So this mat is 4 1/4 by 4 3/4 for the front of this pocket. I am using my art glitter glue for all my matting. And we'll have quite a few embellishments to do as well, but we'll do those after we get the pages into the book. I just wanted to get the base mats down before we put it in the book. This makes it a little easier sometimes to get the mats on. This paper is just so pretty. And if you saw my haul, you'll know that I have lots and lots of flowers and crystals, things to work with. So this one is not going to be plain and simple like a lot of my albums. We're going to really dress this one up quite a bit, I think. Similar to what we did with the Spring Farmhouse album, which I enjoyed doing. What on earth? Hang on. Let's get that out of there. Okay. And then we have this one. There's that buffalo check I was telling you about. It's unusual for Prima to include something quite so dark in their collections, and we are definitely going to make use of it. I think all albums could really benefit from having at least 1 or 2 dark papers to offset the lighter ones. Okay. There we go. And that has a magnet, so you just heard the magnet pull, and there's a double mat that we're going to do. I might as well start with that since I've got it ready. This one is, so the burgundy mat is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, and this piece is 4 3/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, so it's 1 inch smaller, leaving a 1/2 inch border all around. And of course, you can make these, any size you like. You could single mat, do whatever you like. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And you could leave these just plain with you know, cardstock for photos or whatever you wanted to do. Although this particular piece has quite a bit of room on it for a photo if you wanted to add one. Okay. Get my bone folder and really burnish that. You gotta be careful to get these big pieces really burnished down well, but be careful of that magnet. You don't want to dent the paper. Okay. Now for this flap, you're going to need 2 pieces, 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. One for this outside and one for the inside. Double checking to make sure I had my magnet. I have a habit of forgetting to put the magnets. There we go. Okay. All right. And then you need another piece the same size for the inside, and we are using that buffalo check there. Put that a little higher up towards this end than I normally would, just to try and cover that magnet. Okay, and then this piece that's going inside the pocket is 4 3/4 by 6. Glue that pocket shut, and then this piece is going on the front of the pocket. It is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So pretty. This paper is beautiful. Just like that. Okay, so there's page 1. Now, page 2 is a little more complicated. What we have, and you can see I've got a magnet stuck here because I'm going to use it. I have a lot of pieces here. Okay, so this is going to be the base piece. And yeah, is it that piece or am I going to use that one? I think I actually intend to use that one. Yeah, the buffalo check. So let me show you what we're going to do, got all these little mats here, is we need to make, well, we don't need to, but we're going to make a policy envelope. And this is what I'm talking about. This is my test piece, right? So it's going to open like this. You'll be able to put things in it, and it's going to go on the page like this and be held with a magnet. So you just pull it off. All right, so let me grab I have a my guide with the measurements for this particular envelope. All right, grab this. Let me put the pin back in my glue. So this is going to take a couple of minutes. There we go. And let me get my scoring tool. All right, so what you're going to do, let me just unfold it. I'm going to make something that looks like this, okay? And I'll show you how to go about it. All right, so you're going to take your piece, which is 7.5 by 9, okay? You're going to lay it in your scoreboard. And you're going to score, let me just see which piece I have here. Let's put the 9 this way. Okay, so first you're going to put the 9-inch side across the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score it at 1 inch. Okay, and just turn it around and score it at 2 inches. Okay, all right, and then you're going to score it again at 2 inches. Just gonna pull it up there, and then rotate it and score it at 2 inches. There. All right, that's all you need to do with that. Okay. So I hope you can see. I'm going to turn it over. So what we have is a score across the top at 2, across the bottom at 1. All right. And what I want you to do next is take your ruler, and from this line here, which is, it's down 2 inches from the top, pardon me, I want you to take and measure 1 inch and make a little mark, okay? On both sides, 1 inch down from that score mark, make a little mark, and then draw a line from where, let's see, from where these lines intersect, from where your score marks intersect, I think that was my magnet, to the mark you just made, okay? And then do the same over here. Just like that. Okay? Now on the bottom, I want you to do the same thing, except instead of going up 1 inch, you're just going to be going 1/4 of an inch. Up here from that line, and up from the score line on this side. And then again, where the two score lines intersect, just draw a line. Like that. And like this. Okay? And then what you're going to do is take your ruler. Now if you're really good with your paper trimmer, you could do that with your paper trimmer, but I am not, so. And then you're going to cut up, right up the score line until you hit your mark, and then cut along the line that you just drew. just like that. And then I'm going to do the same over here, except opposite. I'm going to start on the line. And these lines are going to be on the inside anyway, so don't worry about it. So I'm going to cut till I get to my intersection. I went a little far, I think. That's all right. And down. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing here. And the last one. Didn't cut that very straight. Okay. There. Okay. Now you have this shape. All right. So for the bottom, which this the 1 inch, this little 1 inch piece is the bottom. We are going to take our corner rounder and round, assuming I can get that to fit in there. You know what? Let me fold it. Might need to fold it in first just to get that side one out of the way. There we go. I'm not burnishing these or anything yet. I'm just getting them out of the way so I can use my 1/2 inch corner rounder to round those bottom corners. Okay, and then grab the top one. We're just going to do the exact same thing on the top one. Use our 1/2 inch corner rounder. If you don't have a corner rounder, you could just use a round object to help you draw an arc. Okay, so then what happens is, I'm going to burnish this, fold this in and burnish it. It's actually going to go underneath like that. Then the bottom one folds up and the top one folds down. Okay, now what I want you to do at this point is, it's not easy to cut along those score lines. It looks good on the bottom, but here on the top I need to trim a little more. So just check for fit. I don't know if you can see that this is just overlapping a little bit here and maybe a little bit there even. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to do it from this side. And just trim a little here. You could do this in your paper cutter if you're more comfortable with it. Just trim a tiny bit away. There. That's better. Okay. Just like that. All right. And then we're going to mat this. All right. And the front, I'm going to mat it while it's flat. And we need to add a magnet. Actually, we probably need to add 2 magnets. But we can do the front because it's not going to have a magnet. And let me give you the measurements. I'm just trying to decide, is it going to have a magnet? No, it's not. Okay. So for this mat, you want to cut a piece 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. Set that aside. is really cute. Now, if you prefer, I said that this wasn't going to get a magnet, and it's not, but that's because I intend to put mine in my book like this. If you prefer to put it like this, then you are going to want to put the magnet under that mat. Okay? Now, I think I probably should figure out where the magnet's going to go. There's a magnet on the other side here, and we're going to use that magnet. Okay? And it's right there. So, I was thinking of attaching it kind of angled like that, right? Let's see where that ends up. I'm just going to take and put a piece of tape facing upward so that I can try to, let's see, stick the magnet down. Let's see, I want it about like that, I think. I don't know if that magnet wants to come up. All right, so of course that's not a great spot for that magnet to end up. All right, but what we can do, let's pull this up. Let's see. I think I'm trying to decide if I can hide this magnet on right in that spot. All right, I'm just going to take and just move it over just slightly. We'll adjust accordingly. I'm just going to make a mark. What do I do with my pencil? There it is. All right, so that's where we're going to put it. And okay, so we want it facing this way. So make sure I have it the way I want it. Okay. That's going to go like that. Okay. And the other magnet, this is going to take more than one magnet, we'll put the other magnet up here. And then we're going to need another magnet for the base. And what I'd really like to do is put them on the inside instead of the outside. The only thing is, if I do that, no, I'm going to leave on the outside, because if I put them on the inside, they'll be, whoops, move that. They might interfere with whatever you're going to put in the envelope. Okay, so then I'm going to do that like that. That'll be fine. Put that there. And grab a scrap. Well, let's see what I've got. There's my little measurement. We'll use that. That there. Okay. bottom one catch first, and then just, see, I was thinking I was going to put it that way, but I'm going to end up putting it this way. And just press down. I shifted it a little, but that's okay. And that one is going to go there. Okay, so I hope that was clear. All right, so let's set that aside for the moment and finish matting. All right, so the top and bottom mats are very straightforward. All right, so the top one is 1 3/4 by 3 1/4, and then it's rounded with the quarter rounder. And just be careful to be directional because it's going to face this way eventually. Okay, so put that one down. Did I ink it? No. Okay. And let me go ahead and ink these while I'm at it. The wrong side of this one. I did. I said to be directional, but it's actually the plaid that I'm going to use, I think. There we go. Okay. And yeah, I'm definitely using the plaid. Hope you can see that. Sorry. Let me go ahead and put that down. And the bottom one, I'm using 1/2 inch for the round, the 1/2 inch side of my corner rounder for all these corners. This one's 3 1/4 by 3/4. Whoops. Okay. Go. There. All right, and then this is going to go, whoops, that way. This is going to come up. This is going to come down. And I haven't finalized the closure for this, but I think I'm just going to do a traditional closure with a circle here and a circle there and a piece of twine. All right, so let me show you how I made the mats for here. What I did is, and you know what, I rounded these corners on the sample. I just remembered. And let me see. One, I can't remember if I think I did it manual. I'm trying to remember how I rounded those corners. So I think I used my art glitter glue now that I think about it, but I'm not sure, but I think that's what I did. Yeah, that is what I did. Okay, so just place your art glitter glue on these upper corners and draw a little arc that you'll cut out. Okay, and then take your scissors and just cut along the line that you just drew. Okay, there, that looks better. Now, all right, what I did to make the mats for this is I took a strip of paper. Just grab, I'm just going to use this as an example. All right. And I laid the piece of paper face down, like with the side I wanted up, on my table. Then I took, and I had cut the strip to the right width. So your strip is going to be 1 3/4. All right, so let's pretend it's 1 3/4. All right. And I just laid this way, like this is where the mat's going to go here. So I have it face down on my table, laid this down so that it was even, and then just slid it over a little bit, you know, to have the reveal that I wanted. And then I drew, and remember, it's the right width already. You've already cut it the right width. So I just drew lines like that, okay, and cut. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You know what? And let me grab my big scissors. Hang on. And let's, how wide does it? I just wanted it to look the way it should look for you. 1 3/4. Okay, so let's make it the right width. Okay, so 1 3/4. 1 3/4. Give or take. All right, so let's just do a rough cut of that. Okay, so I've drawn these marks. I'm going to cut those. And here. Okay, so just like that. Then turn it over. Okay, take the sample. Let me ink it so you can see the edge. Or not the sample, but the mat. I just want you to be able to see it. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to put it on there the way it will be. And of course it's pretty much the same size. It's, you know, we've brought it in, so it's the right width, but the height is off, right? So then I just slid it down, and you can see my corner doesn't match. So if it doesn't look good, just draw a little curve to make it look good. And then down here, okay, so now I know I have the right reveal up here. Down here, I just make a mark at about 1/8 of an inch up, and I'm eyeballing it, just 2 marks, 1 on each end. Join them. Just like that. And cut. And of course, I'm just inking this so you can see it, okay? And then I'm going to fix that curve that I didn't cut very well up there. Okay. And that is how you make the mats for these 2 sides, okay? And you'll see, let me show you mine, let me get this out of the way. And then if you're going to make this policy envelope again, you know, for another album, and you know, you could make templates and trace them instead of actually cutting the mats, and then you won't have to do that again. Okay, let's slide that over. All right, so what do I do with the rest of these mats here? Get the tape out of the way. Okay, and I still have to do the inside mats. All right, so this one goes here, and this one goes here, and the one on this side is a little narrow just because I used a scrap that I had, and I know it's not going to be seen because this one's going to get glued on top of it, so it's all right. I'm using what I got. All right, so let's glue these down, and again, the closure that I'm going to use I can put on top of these mats. Got some chipboards too. I might even use one of those. All right. There's that. Okay. And then this one. And if you don't want to be bothered with this, you know, you could buy an envelope, like a white envelope, and mat it, or you could just use, you know, glue one of the ephemera cards or something on if you don't want to be bothered with making this envelope. But I think it's not hard. You shouldn't be intimidated by it. You saw that I didn't really have any issues making it. There we go. All right, now. So now this piece here is going to get glued on top of this piece. So let me go ahead and run a bead of glue. Like that. Just burnish that down with my dry baby wipe. And then this piece is going to get glued up. And just like that. Whoops. Quite a bit of bulk there, so let me go ahead and burnish that. And then of course this does not get glued. We're going to have a closure that's going to hold this closed. So now let's bring this back over and we're going to glue down. Have I inked this yet? Looks like I have. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down this great big mat. Okay. And okay. Go. And then we have our envelope. Super cute. I really like that a lot. And actually we might not even need much of a closure, maybe just a piece of ephemera or something, because it's mostly going to be held down by being magnetized to this page. Okay, so there is the front and back of page 1. Set that aside. And let's grab page 2. And do that one. Set aside. I've got all my little templates and measurements, and if you remember that we did, I'm just folding this over because I've got some. Let me grab a scrap here. This is the book that we made in my last series, and that's what I've been using for all my planning for this project. All right, here we go. Now, let me get all my little scraps here. Get out of the way. And let's pull this one over. Okay, so this page, this side is going to be easy. All right, and then let me just set all those aside. They're not hard, there's just more mats. All right, so on the front of this pocket, you need a piece of the burgundy, or what I used was a piece of the burgundy, 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I took one of these journaling cards. They're 4 by 6, and I trimmed it down to 3 1/2 by 5 1/2, and attached it to that piece of burgundy, and then we'll just glue that down. It's getting a little gunky there. All right, come on. Okay. Careful, make sure you don't put it on upside down. It's just going to go right there. Burnish that. And I did use a 1/4 inch round on this card because that's how they come, with a 1/4 inch. So when I re-rounded the corners after I trimmed it, I stuck with the 1/4 inch. Okay, now here we're using a piece 5.5 by 5.5. Is that right? No, 5 3/4 by 5.5, and that's going to go in the pocket. Right. Oops. Let's put it in backwards. Let's see. I think I have it this way. I wanted that. I had this white more to the inside, or at least that's how I wanted it. I don't know if that's how I had it, but okay. Give that a good burnish. All right, and once again, let's make sure we haven't glued it shut. There we go. Okay, so that was easy, right? Now this side, we have quite a few things going on. Double check what I was going to do. So for this, let's do the inside first, then we'll do the outside. Oh, I need a magnet though. That's what that means, is I need a magnet. So I can't do the inside yet. So let me set these two pieces aside. And here I have, this is going to be, is that going to be the outside? I believe it was. Or was it going to be this? Either one would be pretty. Oh, actually it's this. Yeah, I was going to do that. All right. Sorry, I have to remember what my plan was. Okay, so this piece is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, and that can get glued down now. Okay. All right, so that goes down like that. And then, here's where I'm still dithering a little bit. So I'm going to set that aside, but I know this is going to go here. So this piece we already cut and set aside. So this piece is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right, and then I have a piece of pink that is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, and a piece of burgundy that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then we have our 4 by 6 journaling card. Okay, so I'm going to take my crocodile and I'm going to do a 1/4 inch round on each of these pieces to match the journaling card. There we go. Okay. And then the only piece I'm going to ink is the journaling card. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that. And of course, if you don't have the journaling card, you can use one of the cut aparts. You just cut a piece from the paper that you particularly like. You know, whatever you like. Okay, so each of these gets centered on the one that's the next one up in size. So we'll start with the smallest and work up. So pretty. Then what we're going to do is attach this here. All right, almost all the way over. We may put eventually a chipboard or something here to help lift it up, but this is where it's going. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to open this. We're going to add the mat here, which I can go ahead and do now. That because we don't need a magnet. Well, no, we don't need a magnet here, so we're just going to use this one. That is same size, 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So let's do that. All right, there's that. Okay, so let me show you. Might as well just, rather than try to tell you what we're going to do and then do it, let's just do it and you'll see. All right. This is my don't forget the magnet reminder. I've got it here, so it'll be all right. And I'm just going to eyeball exactly where I'm going to put this. But all right, so I want glue to be basically everywhere to this side of my hand. Whoop. Okay, maybe even a little more. Okay, I can always add a little more if I have to, and I'm eyeballing it top to bottom. Put it down like that. Oops, get some glue on the front. I had some glue on my hand. Okay. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the process with the pink, the burgundy, and this card on this side. Okay. When I said I was dithering, I was wondering if I needed to add another piece of the linen. And I'm still thinking maybe I should. I think I will. Okay, so let me cut that. Let me cut another piece of that. All right, and let me adjust. I gotta remember to adjust our cutting guide that you're gonna need 2 of that size. So that was 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right, I'll be right back. And get out our corner rounder and round these corners at 1/4 inch. And this is where we're going to need to add a magnet as well. So let me go ahead and get the card inked. Okay, there we go. All right, so I want the magnet to be under this card. I don't want it to have to go through all those layers, so this is where the magnet's going to go. Okay. All right, so what we need to remember is it's going to go this way. I'm wondering... there. Okay, so this is going here, and it's going to go here. So I want the magnet to be right about there. That's just about there. Okay. And I'm going to grab my tape. glue this down. This gets attached to this one. Just move that over so you can see. And oh, I ran right over that magnet. So you don't want to try to avoid that. It makes a visible dent in the paper when you do that. Okay. Now this is going to be attached here. So this one, unlike the other one, we're going to go ahead and put glue on the whole thing. Whoops, right off. Okay. So now you want to line up these corners, the outside, and then before I press it down too much, I'm going to pick it up and make sure I don't have anything hanging over. There. Okay. Go. And let's give this a good burnish. Okay. That's pretty thick. All right, and then that's gonna get attached. I find the end of my tape. Just find your magnet. Okay. And let's see, I need a scrap. Just use this. Just to help lift that up when the time comes. All right. Oh, I feel like I've got ink on my fingers. I need to wash my hands. Let's see. Okay. Looks like that's all right. Let's make sure it's catching. Yep, that's catching. Okay, and then this is going to go here. And this one is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. You know what? I feel like, was I going to do that? No, I was not. Okay, just want to make sure. I don't lose track of which ones you're going to put down. Oh my goodness, did not get that down straight. Let's try that again. There we go, that's better. All right. Again, be careful when you're doing this that you don't run right over that magnet. Okay, cute. All right. So that goes there, and there it goes there. And okay. Now let's bring the next one over. All right, so with this one, I'm doing another double mat. This one with just the burgundy. So this one is the mat itself is going to be 3 3/4, the burgundy mat by 8 1/4. And then the pattern mat is 3 1/2 by 8. Okay, that's for this outside one. Oh, I forgot to ink that. Oh well, it's too late. Just run a little ink down the edge and hopefully it won't be noticeable. Okay. And then this piece down. Okay. That looks nice. Okay. And the inside mat is the same size, and this is the little starbursts or whatever they are. I'll remember to ink it this time. Okay. And oh my goodness, I'm being awkward with that. With the glue. Okay, let me just wipe where I spilled the extra glue. Okay. This side, this mat's the same size, I think. Let me double check. 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. Yeah. This one I'm just using the plain burgundy. Okay. Just like that. And then on the inside, it's the same size, and we have the stars again. Okay. Just like that. Go. And then on the inside this vellum pocket, we're using this beautiful piece, which is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. Yeah, for a second there I panicked. I thought I put the glue on the wrong side because this side's so pretty. Okay, just a little bit of ink down, glue down there at the bottom. Okay, so now we gotta get this. Now make sure. Oh, this is going to be tricky. There we go. Well, it wasn't tricky at all. I was going to say make sure you get it all the way in because it's got to go up over that piece at the bottom where the pockets folded up. That is super pretty. Like that a lot. Okay. All right. And that goes like that. And the back, we have the belly band we're going to do in the plain burgundy, and then we have another mat the same size, which is what, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. And this, to do this, you're going to just take a piece, let's pretend my ruler is a piece of paper. Cut a piece of paper, a strip of paper 1 3/4 inches wide by about 10 inches, okay? And what I do for that is I just take that piece, lay it diagonally across, you know, my band, make a pencil mark here, here, and here, and here and here, just attach those lines, cut, and that's how you get your mat. Okay. Cut. Right, and then this one. Okay. And I'm just going to tuck that down there. Whoop. Come on. There we go. So pretty. I love that little stocking. Okay, let's give this a good burnish. There. Okay. Now that goes like that, comes over, and then we have the final page. Now here we have to make the window flap, and that's going to be a whole production, so we're going to set that as, we're not going to do that, and we'll do that in a separate video next. But we can go ahead and do, oh, I forgot to ink that. See, I get so excited to see the paper. Okay, let's get this inked. We're going to do these triple flaps, and I'll give you measurements. Just let me get these inked. I don't know why I'm inking the part that goes inside the pockets. You will never see it, but I did. Okay. This first one is 3 by 8. I'm sure they're all 8 1/4. I'm sure. Yeah, they're all going to be 8 1/4. So that one's 3. This one is 1 1/2 by 8 1/4, and this one is 2 1/2 by 8 1/4. Okay. So let's do them. Right, here we go. All right, and that one goes like this. So let's just review where we're at. Get rid of some of these things. Okay, so we have page 1 with its flat pocket, and this beautiful cardinal, and this removable envelope. Then we have a pocket here, and then we have our card flap and our double flap with the vellum pocket. And then we have our diagonal belly band. We're going to have our window flap right here, and we'll do that in the next video. And then we have our double vertical pocket. All right, I think it's looking great. And I guess that is it. We've got a lot done today. So next time I see you, we are going to make this window page, and it's not difficult, but it'll take us a little bit of time. And as with everything else, if you do not feel like making the window in the flap, you don't have to. And we'll talk about that more when we get to it. So I guess that is it. So once again, all the supplies are available at Country Craft Creations. This is my design team project for Country Craft Creations. And you know what? I'm just talking to you and noticing that I have this corner is coming up a little on this mat. I'm going to tuck a little glue in there while I say goodbye to you. So if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you did so. And if you have already, thank you so much. There you go. And please comment down below if you have anything to say or have any questions, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video in the series. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.